Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us for our weekend weather update and the outlook for next week. And we've got this big high out to the east and another big high moving in from the west, so not a great deal of change coming. We've got this warm weather drifting down over New Zealand. Some parts of the country over 8 degrees above average as we head in towards Saturday. So that's a real change from the places that were sub-zero for 50 hours earlier this week, like Southland. So you've got warmer weather coming. As we take a look at the rainfall for the next 4 days accumulated, look at the North Island, mostly dry. Just a couple of showers, 0.1 to 5 millimetres in these two areas here, and about the same down around the lower portion of the North Island. But the west coast has got heavier rain, and the further down you go, the heavier it gets. The pale blue colouring there puts it up to over 150 to 200 millimetres accumulating over the next 4 days, and some of that will spill around into Southland. The more coastal you are, the higher the totals will be. Stewart Island could have 100 millimetres of rain coming, and around the more sort of coastal parts, anywhere between sort of 70 and even 90 millimetres potential over the next 4 days. So that's quite a bit for Southland. It will be mild though. Look at the temperatures here on Saturday. So starting in Southland, where you've had a rough time lately, you'll be 4 to 8 degrees, leaning more towards the 8 degrees above average on Saturday with your daytime highs. Some parts of central Otago and Canterbury in the darker colouring there, over 8 degrees above average, so that is significant. And the further north you go, you're less above average, but you're still pretty mild. 19 in Auckland, 19 in central Otago. Let's have a look now at the weather map. So Saturday looks like this. You've got high pressure parked out here, and it is pretty strong. It's holding on to the North Island, bringing light winds for you. But the further down you go, the windier it gets, with a few showers on the west coast. And that's really about it. By Sunday, we've got strong winds arriving. So you can see the areas here in the shaded, well, that's for the gusts. So the gusty areas there, you're talking 120 to 140 k's an hour. Now that's on the tops of the mountains. So further down where people live, it is nowhere near as bad as that, but still blustery, still gale force at times. And similar story up here. In fact, it could be pretty windy around Waiata Upper and Hawke's Bay on Sunday morning. This is 7 o'clock on Sunday morning. Sunday itself, you can see those isobars being squashed together. The high's still in charge, but there's that rain that's pushing in, and because it's going sideways, it's running along like that. It's not moving up the country, it's moving sideways along it, and that's why those rainfall totals could go up quite a bit. To the start of next week, and we've got high pressure covering the country, but you've got this sort of northwest flow coming down. So it's a little windy on Monday in the South Island, and that's a cold front coming in for Tuesday. So Monday's mild before that arrives, and the high is blocking that subtropical low from getting closer. On Tuesday, the highs weaken a little bit in the middle here, but still high pressure to the west out here as well, and to the east or the northeast. But the cold front comes in on Tuesday, and there will be a temperature drop in Southland, more snow on the mountains and ranges, not to sea level, so don't stress too much. Go to ruralweather.co.nz to make more sense of what is about to move through, and there'll be a surge of wind in front of it. So very typical spring weather. We get to Wednesday, and that's where it's still pretty blustery around the country. High pressure is building out to the west, and the cooler temperatures, they go all the way up to about the halfway mark of the North Island. And then by Thursday of next week, it's still a little cool in the east, but it's warming up again with high pressure. That means it could get cold again at night, so perhaps an early frost alert. There could be some frost around next Thursday and Friday as that high drifts in, but I'd guess by the end of next weekend, you'd have these warm northerlies starting to return. That's all from me. Have a great weekend. It's been a very busy week. I hope you find this weekend a lot more relaxing and calming, although the winds will still be a little blustery, and we will see you again on Monday.